Hello again, it's Monster Forge, and this time I have a video that's toy review that is not only a cool toy, in my opinion, it's also a cheap one. This. Got this at Walmart the other day. The retail on these things, this is a S.H.Figuarts Ultraman figure. It's the first ever S.H.Figuarts I ever had because usually they're a little bit more expensive than what I like to pay for toys. This is based on the new Netflix Ultraman series. It's either already started or it's coming. I'm not sure, but this is a product of Bandai Namco or Bandai Namco, Tamashii Nations. And it's an official Subaraya Productions action figure of Ultraman. It's a stylized version of Ultraman that's like the animation in the CGI animated series. Like I said, I haven't seen that yet, but Figuarts figures are usually they're a little pricey. I think the Japanese version of this figure, which has some differences from this. This is the, if I'm not mistaken, this is like the American release. Yeah, Bandai Namco Toys and Collectibles America Incorporated. So this is, it's a Japanese figure, but this is the American release of it. This retailed at Walmart. I don't know if these were like Walmart exclusives or not. I know they were in a section in Walmart that had a bunch of like exclusive stuff. I don't see any markings that it's exclusive to Walmart though. But I think these things were like 30 something bucks, like $34, $35 or something like that. But I had been noticing wherever I'd seen them, like none of them were selling. And so when I walked into a Walmart out of town this past week and saw this guy for $9, I grabbed him immediately. It was the last one they had, so evidently that price is the right price. But S.H.Figuarts figures are they're small figures. They're, when we get him out of the package, I'll show you. This is not an unboxing because I've already opened it and had a chance to kind of mess around with it, because I know a lot of times with Japanese figures they're kind of delicate, and I wanted to make sure I knew like the lengths that the joint are, you know, the ranges of the joints and stuff like that before I just pulled it right out of the package. So I was very tender messing with it whenever I was goofing around before, but I will open it on here. It says S.H.Figuarts is a standard action figure series that uses the art style and technologies of Tamashii Nations to pursue character expression through humanoid action. I couldn't have said it better myself. And it shows you here some of the posing that can be done with the figure. Modeling, the high quality sculpting and proportions were made with the support of Subaraya Productions. Articulation, the figure has a full range of motion necessary to smoothly recreate Ultraman action poses from the motion picture. So yeah, just the packaging in general, it has a picture of him there. It has a really cool illustration of him there. It really makes me think of some of Mark Nagata's illustrations of Ultraman, with the way that is done. I don't know. It doesn't say, I don't think it does, who painted the image on the side, or maybe it's computer, I'm not sure, but there's just something about it makes me think of Mark Nagata's Ultraman paintings. And you know, the figure here, and that's the continuation of this picture. It's kind of cut off right here on the bottom. But anyway, let's get him out of the package. And when you open the package, it'll say instructions on how to play are indicated on the opposite side, which is interesting. And there's a, I don't know, HTTPS //tamashiweb.com. There you go. You can find out some stuff there. But what you have here is these are the instructions. Caution, please take thorough care when handling the product, as there is a risk of scratching the product when assembling and operating it. It's good to know. It's fully painted. Like, I think every surface of it is painted. Hand parts on the body are the fists, which I think I put him back with the fist. Interchangeable hand parts. He's got the open hands for grappling, and he's got the chopping hands for his specium ray. Now it has, the figure comes with, oh, warning, tumble. Note the direction, do not misplace. So he comes with his color timer. Now what that was, if you're not familiar with Ultraman he's from the, was it M97 Nebula? I can't remember. He's a like a celestial being, alien type guy. And he can only exist in our environment for, is it 2 minutes? I think it's 2 minutes. And normally his chest has the little blue light on it, but when he's getting, critical, like at the end of his 2 minutes of power and fighting, it starts turning red and flashing. And it always said in the old Ultraman series, at least the American dub of it, if his color timer turns red, he will be gone forever, or he will die forever, or something like that. But yeah, just really cool packaging. I like that. Hasbro, it'd be really cool if you started putting plastic windows on your toys, so the drooling child beasts will quit touching my Transformers. Anyway, here's the figure in his little clamshell dealio here, and I don't know if I have the hand parts the way they were arranged in here originally, because I took it out, but what you get is a jumble of stuff. Color timer there, and it came with all of his parts were separated with these little plastic deals. That's another reason why I didn't want to unbox it, because I'd have to figure out how to get all these things loose. But anyway, he's just a really, really, really cool looking figure. The silver paint and the red paint too, it's just amazing. He's got a nice range of motion on his joints, but like I said, you've got to be careful not to scratch the paint. Now, one thing that I have noticed is the joints in here, I don't know if they're painted or not, but I know the ones in the feet, the silver parts, something on him there, like at the knees and all, the actual joint that's in between that's in between the upper and lower legs, it's gray plastic, and it's not painted, which is a nice compromise to keep the paint from scratching there. Some people might have a problem with that, but I really don't. And the plastic on the heel is also, or like at the ankle joint, is also unpainted plastic, and that's fine. If it keeps the paint from rubbing in those areas, that's fine. I think the red joints, like at the wrist and the elbow and all, I think they are unpainted. I don't know. Okay, so this is painted. You can see the shininess of the paint there on that joint, but in there, that is not painted. That is the actual, just the color of the plastic. But let's go, let's take a look at the figure itself first. And he's really cool. Just such a cool, streamlined, really alien look for Ultraman. Ultraman is, as you know, I hate to bust anybody's beliefs from childhood, but Ultraman was a guy in a suit. Just I'm sorry. I'm sorry I ruined that for everybody. Ultraman's not really an alien. Maybe he seemed like one in your heart, but he was a guy in a suit. But anyway, it usually has that same body shape as, or like size as a normal human wearing a rubber outfit. But this one's really stretched out according to the stylization and the animation. Um, Now, as far as articulation goes, well, let's look at some of the details first. His eyes appear to be, yeah, they are. The eyes are translucent plastic that's, glued in, or either the head is completely, no, it appears to be a piece that's in there, like an insert that's clear plastic or translucent blue plastic with the little dot of white as like the pupils or the lights in the eyes, because that's the way it was. The reason for those little dots in the eyes is that was the light behind them, because a lot of the Subaraya monsters and creatures and aliens and all, they had eyes that lit up. That was kind of like one of the design choices they went with. But he's got a really cool design. The neck is really super crazy long. And when I first saw the design for this Ultraman in the trailer for the animated show or movie or whatever, I wasn't crazy about it at first because it's like, it's just ridiculously long. But having the figure in hand really makes me like it a lot more. If you've seen Shin Ultraman, which was the recent in American theaters, it was a Japanese film, but it came to American theaters a year or two ago, maybe 3, I can't remember. But he had a very lean and lanky, alien-like build, and so this kind of reminds me of that. But anyway, articulation-wise, there's a ball inside the neck, so he has range on that neck, and that's really tight, so I don't want to really stress it, but you can turn. An easier way to turn the head is the neck is jointed at the bottom, and they do have like ball joints that they fit on. And now watch me not be able to get it back on. No, not too bad. It turns easier at the bottom of the neck than it does at the top, because I really don't want to stress these joints. They're delicate, kind of adult collector figures, and so it's not really the kind of stuff that you want to hand a kid unless you want it broken right away. The joints are really tiny in places, but you get a good range on that, and you can move the neck forward and kind of push that ball back, and you can get a good flying look, or just having him look up. And likewise, you can get the head to look way down, because I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but Ultraman's a giant, so him looking down at people is pretty appropriate. The neck itself doesn't have much range because of the way the shoulders are done here, or the like his what's the word I'm looking for here? Is it lats? Anyway, the sides of his neck here, I feel like an idiot because my anatomy's falling out. He has a butterfly joint that goes forward like this, so he has you can bring his arm all the way in front of him like that. And likewise, the butterfly joint also goes up and down, so you have a good bit of range there. You can see the difference between the shoulders. You can bring that shoulder all the way down. There's a there's a ball joint inside the shoulder, the cup there, the rotator cup, and there's like a pin and disc joint there, so he can go in and out, and he can also turn, so you can get a crazy range of motion with that. He has a swivel at the bicep that goes all the way around, and he has kind of that same type of, he's got like it's like a hinge inside of this. You can't really turn it I mean, it might turn, but I don't want to stress it. But he can bend his arm really far forward because it has like a double joint. But another one of those things where I'm kind of reluctant to really stress it out. If I find another one of these at a good price, I'm going to stress the heck out of the joints because I want to see what it can actually do. It has a hinge at the wrist, and it's got a rotational joint there, but it also has a rotational joint at the end there. So it's actually, there's a peg there and there's a peg that goes in there, and it's really just one hinge, and so that gives you like universal posability there. The waist has a limited, I mean, it's pretty good. It doesn't, because of the style of this, the way it's made, like the curves in here and the rib cage and all, it doesn't really let it move a whole lot, but you do get some. I mean, enough to be expressive. And it can go forward. It can go forward about that much, and it can go back like that, which is key whenever you're doing the shuachi, the flying pose for Ultraman, which I'll do in a minute. The waist right here really doesn't move a whole lot. And like I said, I don't want to stress it. The hips can move forward. And once again, it's a pin in there that is a drop down joint. So you can get like a further range going forward like that. So you can be like one of the Rockettes. And that goes up. There's also actually a ball joint in the outer or the furthest part of that hip joint going down into the leg. There's a ball joint in there, so you can actually like move his legs out like that. And that's really for doing poses out, getting more of a range on the leg there. So far I'm not scratching any paint, but fingers crossed. His hips go out like this, but you can actually get them to go out a little bit further if you do this, and you can get them to go further to the side if you kind of mess with them a little bit. It's all about, finding that exact pose you want to put him in. But yeah, you can get a pretty good range there. And the joints are fairly tight on this guy. The only ones that really, like the ankles are a little bit loose because of the lankiness of the figure. But not too bad. And you got a really good range there with the double joint. Let's see, does this one do more? No, it really doesn't. Like, I don't know if that's a double. I'm not really sure if that's supposed to be a double hinge at the elbow or not. Like I said, I don't want to stress it too much. He has that same sort of, it's two halves of a ball sort of that's split in the middle for a hinge. So it'll go like this, but also it turns at each side of the ball. And you can get more of a range of movement if you kind of play with that. And let's see, you can turn it like this, and so you can kick his legs inward like that or outward like that. But it's really kind of meant to, the standard is like just straight up and down. He has like a swivel in the foot, so you can get a good range for him to stand. Like, his stance is really good. And this isn't really an ideal. I'm using this backdrop, which is a towel, just full transparency there. This is a towel, an off-white towel, because it just seems to pick this up better than putting him against the other background that I have. Maybe it's because he's so shiny, I don't know. But anyway, he has a hinge there at the toe, which helps if you're posing him certain ways. So as far as the accessories or the other parts that come with him, the color timer, it's a little tricky to get it out. It just kind of slides out, and he has like a gap there. And you can take the red color timer, and it has to be inserted like at an angle. And I don't know if you can see it or not. The way that thing in the back there is pointed up, it fits into there like that. And now he has the red color timer, and it was always like dee doo dee doo dee doo dee doo, and you're like, I'm dead. But I don't want to put the failing one in there. In my world, Ultraman lives forever. Okay, but yeah, it just kind of it clasps in there pretty good. It hasn't fallen out so far. So let's look at the actual different hands that he comes with. And we'll an eyelash. Look at that. Let's see. First of all, we'll look at the kind of grappling hands, because one of the things about Ultraman is he did a lot of really cool wrestling moves with the kaiju that he went up against. So he has this sort of like he's ready to fight stance, you know, with his hands ready. You can kind of lean him forward so he looks like he's ready to go. And maybe like grab a kaiju by the tail and swing him around in the air. So there's that. And you know, once again, it's the same posability. It's just, it just pops on that little ball there. And that is an insanely tiny ball joint there. But the best thing is his hands, his double purpose hands here. Well, actually, probably triple purpose hands, because, come on. My hands are cramping up because I worked all day and they're just that way today. But he has his hands here for karate chopping. Karate chopping, but also more importantly, so he can do his specium ray. And if you don't know what the specium ray was, Ultraman would get his arm up like this, and he would get this arm over here like this, and he would put it against here like that, and he would get braced, and he would shoot like a beam of this specium or whatever it is, energy that would shoot out of the side of his hand, and he would just cut a bad guy in two, like. But the other cool thing is, if you get his legs like this, because Ultraman always kind of flew kind of straight, get his arms like this, and I remember he sort of had his wrists were kind of up a little bit when he would fly. Come on, work with him, buddy. And get his back done like this, and the neck done like this, and that is basically the shwatch, and he'd go flying like that. Yep. Da 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 da. Dun, 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 dun. Yep, that was the Ultraman music, and he would go flying, and very cool stuff. Ultraman is one of my favorite memories from childhood, because I would watch Ultraman. They would show him. There was a show, like a local show, and it was like a variety show for kids. Happy Rain was the name of the show, I think. I think it was Happy Rain, where they showed the Ultraman clips on. Happy Rain was like, she was supposed to be like a Native American Indian lady. I don't know if she really was or not, but she was the host of the show. And they would show cartoons and stuff like that. And they would show, if I'm not mistaken, at least that's what I remember, they would show like an episode of Ultraman a day. Or it was on some kid's show. I don't know. That was the only one I could really remember. But yeah, this figure, he stands from the crest to the bottom of his tippity toe. He is not quite 6.5 inches tall. So by comparison, if you look at a oh great, I don't have anything here. Well, okay, like a Star Wars figure. He's a good bit taller than a Star Wars figure. I don't have any of my Marvel Legends right nearby, but he's about the same height as a Marvel Legends figure, but he's much smaller, like in like the muscle scale and everything. Um, no, I don't have any. Well, kind of. This is one that I'm working on a custom, so he's yeah, I mean, at the tippity top of the crest, but he doesn't really match up as far as like the bulk of him and all. You know, if you wanted to get one of these cheap and use it as like a custom fodder for making an alien or something, you know, like a gray alien, it would be perfect because he's got that perfect scrawny body and everything. But no, this is the S.H. Figuarts um Ultraman Rising Ultraman from Bandai Namco, the American branch. And you know, I hope the new animated movie's good. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing it. If it hasn't already come out, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing it. If it hasn't, and if it has, I'm still looking forward to seeing it because I haven't seen it yet. But the figure looks really great. If you can find one of these guys, I mean, this is a really nice figure. I don't know that I would pay the full price for it. I mean, I know I wouldn't pay the full price for it, but you know, you may feel it's worth that price. But if you look at Walmart's right now, they seem to be putting these guys on clearance. I had seen one of these figures sitting for about $15 for a while, and when I saw it drop down to $9, I was like, "Yep, gimme." So it's a cool toy, and it's a cheap toy at this price. So good luck. Hope you find one if you like it at a good price, and I'll see you in the next one.